This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out. Delighted today to be joined by the man who's on the opposite side of the East Midlands to me, but it's all good,
Mhm.
Mr. Zach Parker. Zach, first of all, thank you very much for your time this afternoon, mate. And how is everything?
Yeah, well, good mate. Just been spending a bit of time with the family and that. Yeah, just been chilling really, waiting for a fight date.
Well, you mentioned waiting for a fight date. A little bit of news has dropped about yourself. Queensbury have confirmed at the WBO convention that you'll be facing Willy Hutchinson next in what the fans will be able to get behind a real 50-50 fight. We've seen how Willy Hutchinson's changed his career on Riyadh season. Is this I guess you could say, the perfect fight in the current scenario for yourself at the moment?
Yeah, obviously can't say too much about it because it ain't a finalised thing at the minute. It's been talked about, but until I see my face on a poster with obviously Willie, I don't believe it's going to go ahead until obviously that. But yeah, should make out for a good fight as long as it's all the ins and outs get sorted and obviously contracts and whatnot. Yeah, it should be make out for a really good fight. Obviously, both from Britain, both always bring their A game. So yeah, like I say, it should be make out for a good fight and good little build up.
What did you make of his last performance against Joshua Buatsi at Wembley Stadium?
I ain't really watched it. To be fair, I need to go back and watch it. Obviously, I think it was a split decision. I think more we had a draw on one of the things, but yeah. I thought Boatsy was going to win anyway. A bit more experience, been in better opposition. Um, but yeah, obviously when I went up against one of the top lads in the division, just come up short, didn't he?
Obviously, last time out for yourself back in July, you took on Jack Arnfield on a short notice fight. A devastating performance from yourself as you got yourself a nice little stoppage victory. Just how nice was it to be back in the ring and getting the stoppages back under your belt?
Yeah, that's it. Just want to get in there and do what I do, like what I've been doing all my life. I've said that I want to be active, but obviously when you're at the top end of the division, it's hard to get fights all the time, and obviously you're on bigger paydays, so it's hard to keep getting you out all the time. It costs obviously it costs too much money, but yeah, that's why I've been waiting for a big fight, and once this gets all sorted, I can put my head to it and. It's going to make out for a great fight. I've been waiting for a massive fight as well, especially now I've moved up to light heavy. This is going to be a proper light heavy fight. He's been light heavy for a couple of years now. Boxed a few good lads, so yeah, I can really put sink my teeth into it.
It's very similar scenarios with both you obviously stepping up from super middle to light heavy, and you've both seemed to have found not just a lot more comfort in making the weight, but performance wise as well. We've seen great performances from both of you. Do you feel for yourself that the light heavyweight move was not just inevitable, but you almost made the move at the right time?
Yeah, obviously, I ain't really fought it the full weight. I've always been like in between, you know what I mean? But obviously, when I said once I get a big fight and I'm ready to move up, I'm a massive super middle as it is. I was just wait. Obviously, with super middle is Canelo's got all the belts. There ain't really much opportunity down there in a minute. And you see the like heavyweight division, it's absolutely booming at the minute. A lot of British lads are in the division at the top end as well. They ain't just coming up or anything. They're all you got like Yard, Boatsi, obviously Willy Hutchinson, a few other good lads out there, and yeah. And you see, obviously, likes of Bivol and Berbatov, they had a really good fight not a few weeks back, and yeah, it's a really good vision to be in, and I'm excited to what's going to come.
What did you make of Better Beer versus Bivol?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good fight. I thought Beterbiev was the aggressor. You know what I mean? That's what he does. He always comes forward, tries to throw a lot of punches. Um, but it was a close fight, to be fair. I got Beterbiev just winning by like a round or two, but it could have been a draw. It could have gone Bivol's way. Just what you like about boxing. Bivol was catching with the cleaner shots and like eye catching shots, but I feel like Bivol just putting that pressure on all the time. You know what I mean? It's hard to look good against. But yeah, it was a really good fight, and if they do it again, it should make out for another great night, especially these Riyadh seasons. This is what they want to do: make these massive fights, and there ain't much bigger than that.
Obviously, you mentioned the rematch, and the way I've been saying it to people since the fight is when you look before the fight, no one could really fully pick a winner. Everyone's head kept switching on who they thought was going
Yeah,
to win. We then watched the 12 rounds that they shared, and we've not got any closer to thinking
No, no, I
a
say
rematch.
still can't pick them, can you? It's just obviously, with them sort of fights, it's just what the refs are looking for, really. The aggressor come forward, throws a lot of punches, or you get Bivol with them eye catching shots, movement. Feel like in the second fight, I feel like he'll try and push Bertwith back a bit more, because when he started pushing him back, he looked really good then, trying to stay centre ring instead of running back to the ropes all the time. But yeah, like I say, it's a really good fight for boxing.
And then another light heavyweight fight on the undercard, which almost had, I'd say, just as much talk as the main event come the end of the evening. Ben Whittaker versus Liam Cameron, a fight that was looked at as Ben Whittaker's come like, time to show what he can do on a global stage. Liam Cameron had other ideas, upset the apple cart, a very
Yeah.
controversial ending. What did you just make of the fight, first of all?
I literally switched it on when he was flying over the ropes. So I was like, what is going on here? And then it got called off. I thought, if he's obviously pulled out for injury, shouldn't it like go straight to Liam Cameron? Because see, like my fight with Ryder, I
Mm,
had injury, but it didn't go to the scorecards, because if it did go to the scorecards, I'd have won. You know what I mean?
mm,
So really, I feel like Liam should have won just by because of injuries and whatnot. You know what I mean? It's don't know. It's just like the boxing rules are a bit iffy, because some injuries are one way and some, you know what I mean.
mm.
But yeah, he was meant to blow him out there. Obviously Whitaker was, but it didn't go that way. This is the thing when you're in boxing. Everyone wants to take your spot. If you're above them, they want to take your spot. You need to be on your game, and feel like that Liam Cameron, he was ready for it. You know what I mean? Whitaker, obviously, I feel like he was just gonna. I feel like he just overlooked him a little bit. Obviously, I ain't seen no fight. I literally just seen him flying over the ropes. I was like, "Oh, that's good. What's been going on here?" But yeah, like from what I've seen on social medias and whatnot, it looked like a lot of people had that Liam up. Obviously, I think he was coming on strong towards it with the ending of the fight. So yeah, it'd been good to see what they ended that last. I think it was, what was it, 4 rounds
Mm.
left or something. Then the last 4 rounds could have been interesting. So yeah, if it was me, if I was Whitaker now, I'd want to get a rematch straight away. Obviously, I don't think no one's heard of him since then. He said I think he said he hurt his ankle or something, but I didn't really see where he dropped on his ankle. But you never know. You have these little weird clicks. Obviously, you don't know what happened in the build up to the fight either. A lot of boxers go into fights injured and whatnot. So yeah, but once it weren't going his way, it looked like a little bit like he wanted to get out of.
Do you feel Ben Whittaker has to rematch Liam Cameron in order to move on with his career?
If it was me, yeah, I would.
Mm.
This is what I want to do. Just put a wrong right, really. Especially like you're not like even won a British title enough, and he obviously he was saying the thing is with Whitaker, he does talk a lot, doesn't he? So there's you need to back up a little bit, and obviously before he was giving that hammer really, and if you don't back up, that's when a lot of people are going to jump on you for saying, or you know what I mean. This is what happens in boxing. You do a lot of talking. It's going to come back to bite you if you don't like put up or shut up. So yeah, if it was me, I'd want to put out right, wrong, wrong, right, and rematch him.
And just moving away from the light heavyweight talk and looking at some of the big talking points in boxing. Talks from Ben Shalom came out this week and said that talks had restarted for Canelo versus Chris Eubank Jr. again. But I'm going to get the direct quote.
I've seen that, but then I've seen few. I think it was Eddy Reynoso. I think
Yeah.
he said that there ain't a chance, because
Well, yeah,
they
I've
tried to
literally got the
deal.
quote up in front of me, so I was ready to read it
Yeah,
out.
they tried to deal with him before, and I've tried to try and deal with Eubanks before, because when I was with the Stallions, they was trying to make the fight a couple of times with Eubank, and you're saying yes, no, yeah, you know what I mean. They're a bit up and down, and obviously once you're fighting against Canelo, he don't really even need you. You know what I mean? He can fight anyone. So if you're gonna try and mess people around like with contracts and stuff like that, it ain't really the person to be messing around, is he? Because he's the cash man. You're not. he's the one who pulls the shots, and obviously, I think it's come back to bite him. What he's done in the past, and don't look like he's going to get that fight. I don't think.
Obviously, we've seen the other fight that a lot of people are targeting for Chris Eubank Jr. Our fight with Conor Benn at 160. If those two do get in the ring, obviously, a lot of the talk is about the weight difference. Conor Benn being at 147 and coming straight up to 160. What
Yeah.
advantages could he have in coming up in those two weights?
um, who Conor Benn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like obviously so weights are different issues. Like obviously it's two weights, so it's a big jump. You know what I mean? But he looks hungry. He looks like he proper wants it, doesn't he?
Mm.
But I don't know if that's fights can even get it like sorted because obviously it's not fought in England since all this big ban. What they're going to do, obviously, there's obviously go with Saudi or America, but I feel like that sort of fight with obviously the big history of it with our dads, it should be made in Britain. So it depends what if Ben's even allowed to box in Britain because I feel like and it's still like a ban or something going on. Not too sure.
I don't think a lot of people are too sure about it.
No.
But the one thing that I've been saying is, in my eyes, I feel like the perspective of the fight has changed. When it first got made
Yeah.
years ago, it was the family history, their dads having shared the ring.
No, it's yeah, now
But do you
it's
feel
like
it's now got a bit more personal between Chris?
yeah, it has got a little personal. Obviously, there's a lot of money in this fight, isn't there? It's one of the biggest British showdowns at the minute. Um, yeah, I feel like yeah, it's a bit of bad blood there now. Obviously, when it was that close to about, there was literally about fight. What was it like a day or so? And
Mm.
then obviously it all got pulled off for that. There's big controversy behind it, and everyone was like, it's been talked about a lot. So um, with the dads, it ain't really. No one's really even said anything about the dads anymore, are they? Because there's that much controversy has been behind it. So yeah, it's a big payday for both of them, but it's just where they're going to hold it. I feel like if you're going to do it, it needs to be in Britain, and we need to see what's gone on with obviously Conor Benn's ban because it's been fair. It's been a long time. I feel like the ban should be lifted probably by now.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, this thing with boxing, they need to be tested. People need to be tested all the time, and they need to be on it.
When those two, or if those two get in the ring, should I say, what do you think happens in that fight?
I feel I know because I feel like Eubank just wants money paydays now,
Mm.
and obviously Ben wants is a bit more hungry, a bit more bit younger and that. But I feel like Chris Eubank he ain't gonna boil down anymore because the first fight he boiled down a little bit,
Mm.
and now Conor Ben saying, "Nah, I'll have it at middleweight or whatever it is now." He ain't really bothered. So that'll play in Chris Eubank's advantage, saying like different weights and whatnot, and not boiled down, a bit more. And but the thing is with Eubank, he's come up to super middle again now. So what they're going to do at super middle? I don't know. If the fight does happen, I think Eubank will win that. I think he'll just box him because the size advantage.
Mm.
He's been in there with some. He's got a lot more experience in Conor Benn at the top end of the table. So yeah, I reckon Eubank will probably just edge it.
You mentioned Eubank only being around for the paydays nowadays. Do you question his desire in the sport and what he really wants to achieve?
I don't know because at the minute that's what I think. I think because you see even like last night he like pretty much tried to fall out of every promoter, didn't he? On that press conference, what do
Mm.
they call them? Or scumbags or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, and if you want to make these massive fight, like the actual biggest fights, you
Mm.
don't want to be like arguing with all the promoters. You want to be getting on with them, don't you?
Yeah.
That's why I think that's why he's going towards like Saudi. That's where the money is. You know what I mean? Obviously, that's what all boxers want to do. We want to get as much out of the sport as we can because it's an hard sport as it is. You see the likes of football and that, they get paid absolutely mad amounts. And you see like the bottom end of boxing, we don't get fuck all, you know what I mean? I started off at £600 a fight on the small shows and I built my way up to
Mm.
like obviously the top level. So yeah. It's good, no bad to him if he wants the money. He's just got to say it, haven't
And just lastly, just looking at the heavyweight division, obviously we've seen all the aftermath since we saw Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois at Wembley.
you? Yeah.
Since then, we've been told that there was going to be a rematch set for February, but apparently there's a few injuries on Anthony Joshua's end, which now leaves Daniel Dubois without an opponent.
Yeah.
Out of all the names in the heavyweight division right now, who do you feel should face
I
Daniel Dubois.
seen the other day that there was on about getting Wardley in there, but I feel
Mm,
like that's a bit quick for Wardley.
mm,
But obviously now it's promoted by Queensbury. That's like that'll go easy because they're both promoted by Queensbury.
mm.
But there's a lot of good fights out there. I wouldn't mind seeing Joe Parker against him. That'd be a good fight. He's coming off a few good wins. Joe Parker is as well.
Mm.
He's right up there. So yeah, if there was one to be made, I think that would probably be the best one. But he's a credible opponent, former world champion. Only lost to top people in Joshua and Joyce. Just beat Deontay Wilder, so that'd make out for a good fight, I think.
Fair enough. Well, Zach, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Good to catch up, and hopefully
No,
we
mate.
could see some big fight news announced for
Hey,
yourself.
we'll have to get you staying up the Rams next time. You know what
Oh,
I
not a chance.
mean?
Not a chance. Zach, top man.
No.